You've got it tuned to 90.3 The Rock, WUTK, 90.3 FM, Knoxville, Tennessee. And a wonderful, beautiful spring afternoon on the Hill here at the University of Tennessee. Wednesday afternoon, as I said, my name is Benny Smith. Thanks so much for tuning in. You are also checking out UTTV The Rock Unplugged, and you can see that via the magic of your TV on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday nights at 9 on Channel 65 on the campus dealio and Channel 194 on your Comcast digital package. What do we do with UTTV The Rock Unplugged? Well, we take these really cool musicians who give us their time to come in and perform live on the radio. Usually it's because they're here to talk about a gig they've got later that night in town or something, maybe a new CD or maybe both or who knows. We're just here to have a good time, play some music on the radio, talk a little bit about it, maybe get you acquainted with the new band. And also what we do is videotape it. And then on UTTV The Rock Unplugged Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday nights at 9, you can check it out. The magic, the fun that is in-studio performances like today. Amelias Mechanics live in studio. We have Molly Squared in here, the two Mollys. Hey, ladies, welcome to Knoxville.
Hey, hello, Knoxville.
Thank you all so much for taking time to stop by. We have Molly McGinn and Molly Miller, right?
Yes.
And we're going to probably go Molly and Miller from here on out for you keeping score at home. So that works cool. Thank you all so much again for taking time. Coming over, they're out of the Greensboro, North Carolina area. We're going to talk to them a little bit about that area. They are in town to play the Preservation Pub this evening. Going to be a really, really fine show. We've got them kind of in an acoustic, kind of stripped-down performance here in the studio, but they will be with a full band, if you will, a Preservation Pub on stage tonight. We'll be talking to them about that. Jim Yvette going to be opening up the show. Going to be a big night of music. You guys have got to be excited, I guess. Is this your first Knoxville gig? Step up to the mic a little closer there. And let's chat a little bit before we talk. Which one's going to do this? So this is going to be Molly, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit. Tell us, is this your first Knoxville gig? You've been to town before? What's up with Amelias Mechanics in Knoxville? And we're glad to have you here.
It is our first time in Knoxville. We've been so excited to play this city because we've actually heard a lot about the music that's here, mostly through Jill Andrews and her band. We got a chance to play with them a while ago and saw the great lineup of folks that she had with her. They were all from Knoxville.
Yep.
And so we played with her a couple months ago, and she was talking about how much she loved it here. And we've been hearing more and more about how much of a music city this is. And then, of course, you got Blue Plate Special here.
Yep, absolutely.
And then I didn't know you had such a beautiful downtown river. And,
oh, yeah.
But it's a gorgeous city, and it just seems like there's a lot of musicians here who are working. Not only just musicians, but they're actually working.
We're very blessed. Great. I mean, the secret's getting out, I guess, and it's one of those things we don't want to keep a secret because we are proud of our local music scene.
Yeah.
Folks like Jill, who came down from the Tri-Cities in Johnson City originally with the Everybody Fields and relocated here and has stayed here and has got a beautiful little child now and just making beautiful music as well. Gorgeous. So it's cool to have ambassadors like Jill Andrews and Sam Quinn, who was in the Everybody Fields, who just moved back he spent some time in Charlotte and did some recording over there in that area as well. And we've just got some great talent here locally and great venues. And Preservation Pub, you're going to find out tonight.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And Bernadette and the whole gang down there, they treat you right and they do a good job. And it's on Market Square, which is kind of the heartbeat, the kind of the center of the city, if you will. And
what's the story of the lighter machine in the Preservation Pub? What is that?
The lighter machine. You're going to have to ask them that. See, I don't get out as much as I used to.
It's like the Artomat, but it's lighters. Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. You'll have to ask because I guarantee there's a story behind that.
Okay, cool.
Just a great place, and you're going to enjoy playing it. But we're going to first enjoy hearing you all play.
All right.
Before we come back and give you a few more questions and talk a little bit about this young man opening for you tonight and the fun that we're going to be having, not just here on the radio but on stage tonight, can you do us one before we get into it? What you going to do?
Well, this is a song called Billions, which is going to be on our next CD.
Right.
We're going to play one from the new one from the old one, and then we're going to do a cover song.
All right. We love that. Beautiful. It is Amelias Mechanics live in studio on 90.3 The Rock and UTTV The Rock Unplugged. Turn it on, leave it on, and let her go, ladies.
All right. Thank you very much. There are billions of people, and many are friends, but there's just one righteous way to make amends. So when you see an old lover down at the bar. Does it get easier with every passing car to say if you don't love me now? And if it's nothing I can do something about, I won't swear on all that is green. I won't pack up my bags and march towards that machine and throw out everything. There are only 4 seasons comprised of 12 months, still about 1 billion ways to mess them up. And you don't get better, you just get more used to the fact that once done is done, you don't develop tact. And as a lady, I can say I know what I want, but you're so hard to read with your ornaments on. I could rip off your clothes while the show's going on, but then that wouldn't be right. And if you don't love me now, and if it's nothing I can do something about, I won't swear on all that is green. I won't pack up my bags and march towards that machine and throw out everything. And as a lady, I can say I know how you'll sleep with that comforter tight pillow between your knees. You'll awake to the sun, then you'll strive to believe that the best is yet to arrive. And if you don't love me now, and if it's nothing I can do something about, I won't swear on all that is green. I won't pack up my bags and march towards that machine and throw out everything. 'Cause there are billions of people and many are friends, but there's just one righteous way to make amends.
Very cool stuff. Amelias Mechanics live in the studio here on 90.3 The Rock and UTTV The Rock Unplugged. Miss Molly McGinn and Miss Molly Miller. For those of you who are not aware, there is some good music being made west of Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. A lot of people only think the Triangle over there is where it all started and it all came from and keeps happening. But Adolphus Ramsher with Ramsher Records is really making some things happen there on kind of in the Piedmont area, I guess you call it, and then all the way into the Winston-Salem and Greensboro area. Were you inspired by anybody in that area, or did you just, grow up listening to cool music and say, hey, let's get together and put this thing together and step up the mic and let me know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Raleigh doesn't have a styles of blues named after it.
Yeah.
I mean, Piedmont blues, there's a very rich music history in the Piedmont area.
Absolutely.
Great
and you
analogy I heard for where the Piedmont is that it's the knuckles of North Carolina. It's
there
like
you go.
where the mountains arm wrestle the coast.
And you can go from Doc Watson to Cephas and Wiggins. Is that from there? I can't remember. There's a bluesy.
Emmylou Harris was rumored to haunt around Greensboro.
Emmylou Harris went to UNCG.
There you go. All right.
And Chapel Hill gets all the glory because they have all the money.
Right.
Yeah.
You could say that. Goodness.
You just did. But you guys were definitely. I mean, you found inspiration somewhere and have come up with a wonderful sound and despite not being a real scene compared to the Triangle over there, like I said, there's some great things happening over there in the Piedmont area.
There's a lot of great stuff happening, and some of the places I think like they're because of a lot of online digital places where you can see music online. So there's places, we have like the Dot Matrix Project, which is this huge media music show, which happens once a month. We've got Harvey's Kitchen, which is this web series that happens where he brings in musicians and makes these really great videos of them. We've got, Triad Stage and Laura and Dosset. We're like 2 hours from Merle Fest. And there's this huge love and reverence for traditional music, but then you also have this really quiet community where people eat well and rest well and make like great music, and it's just a very comfortable town, and people really look out for each other in Greensboro. And I mean, I think we definitely feel that way, but more and more it had a reputation for a while as being kind of cover band town, but in the last 5 or 6 years, that's completely changed. And there's nothing but original music. I mean, we've got Holy Ghost Tent Revival. Comes out of there. Another band called Filthy Bird, which is a great band. We
House of Fools.
House of Fools. Alcazar Hotels from Greensboro, but they are from Chapel Hill, but they come to Greensboro all the time.
And you can count the Event Brothers. I get that,
we count them.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I mean, they've had a great ripple effect. I mean, they employ a lot of people from Greensboro. Folks that we know that are now working on their crew and going on the road with them. So, and of course, you can't help but be inspired by what they've done with a music that's so saturated. I mean, because traditional bluegrass saturates our area, and they've taken it and kind of turned it into a completely new genre, at least new to me anyway. I'd never heard anybody doing any stuff like that with banjos before. And, so there's a little revival, and it's fun to be a part of. And you don't have to belong to bluegrass or traditional or indie. You can mix it up and bring whatever it is you have to the song to make it a great song and not worry about what you have to be classified as.
Right, because those can be dangerously exclusive clubs you're talking about, the whole bluegrass thing, the whole indie rock thing, But also, folks, you remember, back in the early 80s, there was a guy making music up above his parents' garage. Mitch Easter, of course, producing. He's coming to town this Saturday, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, so that was happening back in the early 80s, at least from a production end, and less active, of course. Great band, too. So, well, we're glad you guys have gotten together and are making this great music. Again, we've got the two Mollies, if you will, Molly McGinn and Molly Miller from Amelias Mechanics here in studio and on 90.3 The Rock Unplugged, performing at Preservation Pub this evening and performing more in a plugged-in format, if you will, with an entire band. Going to be a lot of fun. Probably about 9 o'clock, I guess, be going on, something like that. North South, the new record that was just released this February, right? Did you record that back home in Greensboro? Tell us a little bit about how that all got together.
Well, we recorded that in Winston-Salem at Electromagnetic Radiation Records with Doug Williams, and that was produced by Jim Avett. Molly McGinn was lucky enough to meet him at a festival a couple of years ago, and they started, just talking about music and instruments, and she was like, hey, I've got this band, and we played him a couple of songs, and he said he wanted to do an album, so.
Cool. And Jim Avett is the father of the Avett Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, very, very cool.
So we just got really lucky. He's such a nice guy. I mean, yeah.
Has he been performing he's going to be opening tonight, too, folks, by the way. So he'll be going on opening tonight. Has he been performing for quite some time, too? I mean, did the boys get it honestly, if you will?
Actually, yeah, they do. He's been writing songs, ever since the 70s. I know he's played tracks for us that he recorded in the 70s.
Cool.
And even one of those shows up on, is it Mignonette?
Signs on Mignonette. He plays in 1974, recorded it in Greensboro before they took off to Alaska.
Yeah?
He actually plays with a guy named Scott Mannering, who's a really good friend of Molly's and mine. And he's my guitar teacher, actually, too.
Wow.
But he's still in Greensboro. So, but yeah, I think it's like it's a ghost track on Mignonette, but it's Signs, and it's the original version by Jim and Scott back in '74.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So he helped you get together this. It's been quoted and called Vintage Country with a Moonshine Concerto, right? He kind of helped you guys from a production standpoint and saying, this is what I'm hearing, this is what I think you might do, and then you kind of got together and made this really cool record, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, his
He says don't change a thing, basically, is what he said.
Yeah, we just sat down with a couple of mics in the room. We didn't even do